I mean, they have all sorts of different explanations and excuses. Some of them, some of the regions believe that the women's clitoris will actually end up outgrowing the male genitalia.
Okay,
so
okay, wait.
So,
but hang on. That makes sense to me. So they're deeply threatened by female sexuality.
Yes.
I mean, that goes right to the core of how men are threatened. I mean, that's who has the bigger phallus here.
And another big part of it is they think it will take away from the men's sexual pleasure. A lot of the female mutilation is to supposedly enhance the male's sexual pleasure.
No, I don't think so. I don't buy that. I don't buy
That's
that.
That's
true.
What?
Yes.
They might be uneducated in that, but that is one of the cited reasons for these cultural practices. And as you mentioned, Dr. Drew, they do then feed back so that these women then defend these sexual practices because they don't want to be shunned from their culture. They want to still be part of society, and they have to abide by the cultural norm.
Vanessa, help me. What's behind that stunned expression you've got?
Well, honestly, when I initially read the story, that wasn't my first thought. I'm familiar with genital mutilation. I'm familiar with that practice, and I've heard of it before. But this, to me, was, as you know, women, Lorena Bobbitt did. She cuts off the man's member because he's doing something that he's not supposed to do with that member. And so to me, I thought he was saying, you use this body part the way I did not want you to, so you now have to be punished with that body part. And, you know, women, I've heard women say they want to throw hot grits on their man's privates because they're cheating, or hot grease or anything hot just to get them where it really hurts. And so that wasn't my first thought.
Well,
I'm sure there's that undertone there.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think women tend to do this for revenge almost exclusively. Wouldn't you guys say? While men are so threatened by female sexuality generally that, yes, it can become a retribution, but it also becomes just a practice to protect them from the dangers of female sexuality. Doesn't it kind of feel like that?
Maybe, Dr. Drew, but I think individually the reasons can differ. Like for this man, he may have been so angry that his prefrontal cortex is just not able to make a good decision and do something where he's not actually punishing himself in the process.
So what she's talking about, no doubt about that. I just happen to have my brain handy, Judy. The prefrontal cortex is part of the brain up here, which is where our executive function is, where we contain impulses. That guy had very little going on up here. It was all down in the amygdala and the more primitive centers down in this region here. And I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it, but I can't.